Looking at our channels, looking at our followings, we should be rivals.
I've just never had a friendship group like this.
Comparison is like such a killer. It's such a thief.
It brought me some of the closest friendships that I have ever had in my life.
And she leaned across the table and said, "Don't you dare quit YouTube."
Welcome back to the Cypress Room, where we dive deep on influencing with integrity. This is a podcast for creators, and I'm Maggie Honeycutt.
And I'm Christina Mascari, and my face hurts. I'm smiling so big right now. We are podcasting from the Haven podcast all this week. We're so excited. It's just kicking off right now. And we have some of our favorite people here that are not only like some of my favorite creators. I'm going to cry. They're like my best friends. And I'm sitting here with Maggie too, who is such a pivotal person in my life. And I was like, can we just turn on the cameras and start recording? And my friends were so gracious to say yes. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And so you guys just tell them your name and just a little snippet of what you do. I know that's hard, but we'll start with you. Beauty queen.
My name's Kristen Fennig. I am the Broken Masterpiece on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I also have an Amazon storefront, and that's what I get to talk about these next few days is all about Amazon reviews, all those things. So I'm mostly a furniture painter, but moved more into the home DIY area. And I talk a lot about travel and finances and lots of puppies in my stories. And so that's a little bit about me.
And I'm Kara with Lemons to Lemonade Furniture. My main channel is on YouTube, but I'm also on Instagram and TikTok underneath those handles. And I love to paint furniture and redo my home on a budget. That's my main focus. I love to talk about finances. And I'm a homeschool mom, so just all the things wrapped in one. And I'm so excited to be at Haven this week, hanging out with my besties, and just all the information that we get to learn here is top notch. It's great. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Hi, I'm Katie of Salvage by K. Scott. I am your friendly Canadian furniture painter. I'm so excited to be down at the Haven Conference again. I got to chat with Maggie and Christina last year on the podcast, which was so much fun. And yeah, I'm really excited to
And
learn.
it's our highest rated podcast.
Yes, it is.
It's the one that got us monetized. So thank you, Katie Scott, for being here today.
You're very welcome.
She's a big deal.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the places, sharing what I know as I go. That's me.
Well, so Katie, this is sort of, full circle moment 1 year later. You were on our podcast, one of our most highly viewed podcasts, by the way. But last year when we talked to you, you were feeling a little burnout. You're getting ready to take a month off. So can you tell us a little bit more about what the past years look like for you post sabbatical, I guess?
Post sabbatical. Well, I think I'm taking another summer sabbatical. Because burnout is a real thing, and it's hard to make it go all the way away. But I've had a great year. I took a rest last summer and came back feeling refreshed, and I think I produced a ton of really amazing, beautiful furniture pieces and informative content. And I know my business has continued to grow. And my audience has continued to grow, and I feel so much more connected to what I'm doing and all of the people that tune in to watch that. So I'm just grateful to still be here, still doing this weird thing that we do, and being successful with it. And I'm gonna keep plugging away at it as long as people keep watching it, because I really do love it, and it's very fulfilling. And it brought me some of the closest friendships that I have ever had in my life. So yeah, that's not nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like this is a little bit of a continuation of some of our friendship podcasts. So I just want to hear how community and female friendships that you guys have developed in the past years changed your business. So Kara, you want to start?
Sure. It's so pivotal to what I do, like to be able to talk to these women every day, and I'm gonna just gush on our group. It's just so, it's not catty. There's no competitiveness. We are each other's cheerleaders. When we're having a bad day, I can text or call some of them. Most of them will answer their phone. Some of them won't answer their phone. All of them, and they will just they'll pick you up. Like if we Marco Polo with each other usually every single day, and it's like if somebody's having a bad day, everybody jumps in to encourage. And I've just never had a friendship group like this. And then you add in the fact of this crazy weird thing that we do that not everybody does, and the fact that you have a core group that understands what we do and supports that, and supports, you know, our family, knows about our kids and things like that. It's just really, it's beautiful. And it helps me, like when we go through those times of burnout, to feel like, oh, it's okay for me to be in the season, number one, know that it's only temporary. And then you have people that are checking in on you like, hey, how's it going? And it actually encourages you to just get back out there, or just take the next step, or do the next thing, instead of like laying in bed and putting the covers over your head, which can be easy to do in this industry.
Right. Yeah. I love that. I want to hear from you, Kristen, because we were just talking at dinner last night about how everyone met you 3 years ago at Haven, and you came by yourself. Is that right?
I came by myself. I knew no one.
Tell us
I knew about Christina from her channel. And then I had started to pick up their channels like right before, because I was trying to figure out like who's going to be there, who can I like maybe connect with, and I knew no one. And I was terrified, out of my mind. Walked in, I was just like, what am I doing in this space? This is like, I don't know if I'm going to fit here. I don't know if I'm going to make any friends. But I brought my husband along, and he's super introverted, so he just like hung out at the pool and like in the room. But I'd like come back to the room and check in. I'm like, I made a friend. They invited me to dinner. And I just like, he just got to like be my cheerleader in that. And encourage me to just like keep putting myself out there. I'm like very extroverted, but it can also come with just some insecurities of like, what if I just don't fit with everybody? And what if I'm not like it, that comparison is like such a killer. It's such a thief. But once I started connecting with people and building these relationships, it took me probably after the second Haven that I came to really start diving into these friendships and leaning on them, and like knowing that they actually want to be friends, that there's no comparison, that there's just spurring one another on and encouraging each other. And even though a lot of us are in the same industry, it's just like, hey, this didn't work out for me. Do you want this? Do you want me to like loop you in this email? And so it's just been incredible, because I feel like with so many jobs and businesses, it's cutthroat, it's competition. You're like vying for positions and roles, and it's not like that with this, at least with the people that I've met that I've like grown really close to in this circle.
My cheeks just hurt from smiling so big. And I think, you know, I have mentioned several times just about this core group that we have. It's about 7 people. So to have 4 of them here at Haven, we missed the 3 that couldn't come this year. But we've done a beach vacation this year, done a girls trip. That's where you really figure out if you like love people, if you can travel with them and they're all their idiosyncrasies.
Who can share a bed in a bathroom?
And that's the thing, like we do not come from similar backgrounds. We do not have similar stories. We're not even from similar places like around the States. And I think what this friendship has taught me the most is that you do have to step out of your comfort zone, and you have to put yourself out there, and that we have something to learn from everybody. Because like in my biases, if I would have gone and like handpicked my friends, like I wouldn't have put this group together. Yeah. And so it's just being cognizant of that. Like it is actually good to be around people that had different experiences than you, because that's like a true bond when you can hear someone's story and relate it to you and relate back to them, instead of just being like, oh yeah, I loved that show growing up. Oh yeah, I love that cereal. Yeah. And so it's just been so rich to me that y'all let me into your lives, and the vulnerability that you've shared with me, and just being able to experience your families and the way you do business has like, it's been one of my most fulfilling years I've ever had in content creation. I've been doing this like for 5 years, and this one is like, I feel like the most solid, I think, because I have this community to lean on, and to pour out into, because serving people, I know it seems like, oh, that's like really, oh, that's draining and whatever. But honestly, when we serve each other, it's life-giving as well. Not only getting the support to lift you up, but being able to help someone in time of need actually refreshes your soul, which seems like countercultural, but it really, really does. Yeah.
I love that. And, you know, I want to piggyback off of that. Now that you guys are more experienced creators, you've been to Haven a few times, you have your community, like what is the motivation to come back, and what do you hope to like get out of it now that you're kind of in a good place as far as like your businesses and your community and friendships and stuff.
I am going to be looking for I'm so excited to be here and hang out with my friends. That's like primary reason number one of like why I'm back. I feel like I've learned a lot of things. I feel like there's so many things I've learned from Achieve and Haven the past 2 years that I still have not implemented. Like Carrie Ann sat with me and tried to get me to like start my blog, gave me so many ideas. Guess who still hasn't started a blog? Yeah. Like it's just not been on like the forefront of my mind that I can have capacity to do that yet. I'm just in a season with my kids where I just don't have the time in the day to get that done. But the reason also I wanted to come back is to like, I'm going to find that girl that's by herself, that's like looking like deer in the headlights and be like, hey, you might feel overwhelmed right now. And you might get home and you might feel like completely like have this block that you can't create anything of what this person created over here. This person's doing so well over here. And like that happened to me after the first Haven, and I didn't create for months. I kept painting furniture, but I was so stuck in that like, what is it called? What did we call it?
Comparison trap?
Imposter syndrome. Thank you. I made a whole reel on it on my channel because I was like, imposter syndrome. Like you just, and I didn't even have a word for it at the time. I just was stuck for months. And so I want to like be there for women that like really are new, that really are small. Like I was such a small account when I first came, and like just encourage them so they don't get stuck like I got stuck for a while.
I want to hear Katie's answer, because after Katie's first Haven, we talked about this last night. I'm going to put you on blast a little bit. I thought you would never come back because I was like, I could just tell that it wasn't your thing and maybe that you were a little uncomfortable. And I thought you would never come back, but then you came back. And then this is now your third year. So I would love to hear your answer of like, why do you keep coming back?
I did come back. So like Kristen, the first year that I was here, I brought my husband with me as my safety net. I didn't even realize that Thad was here that first year.
He hid.
Now I
bet him a couple of times
that I didn't get to squeeze him.
Come to the dinner. And now we know him so well. We like attacked him and pounced on him.
But yeah, in my real life, I'm a very introverted, antisocial person, which is very, I feel, opposite of the persona that I've created online. And that safety net of having a camera and speaking to a camera, not speaking to someone face to face, is what has allowed me to do this thing that wouldn't have happened organically any other way. So that first year, I really did get hooked. And I came back the second year for Christina Mascari.
Good work.
Yes. Because we just continued. We had chatted before the first Haven that I attended, and you're the one that sold me on the first year. But the second year, we had continued to chat and just build a good business relationship where I knew that you were a safe place if I had questions about anything or I had an idea that I wanted to bounce off someone. You were that person for me. And the second year, last year, was when the rest of the friendship really filled in around that, and we started to pull this group together, and it's just become, don't cry. It's just become this thing that I didn't know I needed, and I didn't know it was a thing because we're so close. We talk about business stuff really in depth every day, but we also talk about what we're having for dinner and how our kids are doing in school and what brothers and sisters are picking on each other about. And we talk about our mental health and our husbands and our relationships and, you know, like who's doing what workout at the gym. And then it goes back to what's happening on YouTube or what's happening on Amazon. It's just this beautifully broad relationship. And it's just given me so much life this year, and really just kept me in the game, because every time you have, you know, you put out a video and it flops and you think I'm done, I'm retiring. And then you have these people that pop in and say, get out of your head. Just post another video, Christina. Just post another video. And then that video blows up like crazy. yeah, it's crazy. It's just a crazy thing. But that's what has continued to bring me back. And I hope that this year, our little group gets nurtured and nourished a little bit more. But I hope that I'm able to have the confidence now with my backbone to put myself out there and create new relationships with brands and other creators and just meet new people. Because that's not something that comes naturally to me, but I feel like I can do that now.
Yeah. And I just like, as you're sitting there talking, like just looking at us on paper next to each other, looking at our channels, looking at our followings, like we should be rivals. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't be so happy when I see your video.
Looking at our comment sections where people say, you should watch what Christina Mascari did.
Like, you know how like I message you and I'm just like, Katie, you're just like the best furniture painter. Like you're the GOAT. Like, and I mean it like from the bottom of my heart. And I mean it not in like, man, I wish I could be Katie Scott. I wish I could do what she's done. But like developing a friendship with you, being able to cheer you on and cheer on your successes and see you grow as a person, see you continue to grow as an artist, that's more fulfilling than me like smashing you to the ground. And people don't understand that. They don't hear those stories.
Yeah.
They see Brittany versus Christina. And it's like, no, like if Brittany and Christina would have band together, they could have been the best girl band of all ever had. I don't know. Yeah. So it's just like, I just think out in the world and even like media and TV and like reality TV, it's always just like the fighting and like who's the top dog and who's the best. And it's like, oh my gosh. But actually like we're individually made and there's enough room for both of us. And to see how far both of us have been able to go because of the support of each other. Because before we had like this beautiful community, Katie and I would be like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. Every other week, it was one of us was like, I'm quitting. No, you're not. Keep going. And like, if I wouldn't have that, I probably would be done by now too. And so I just think that's beautiful. It's just like a reminder again, like competition really is a thief and it's really a liar. Like it can push you to be successful in other areas, but if you work together with someone, you're going to go so much further.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love Haven, because there's always a seat at the table. Like it doesn't matter if you're the biggest creator here or like the smallest creator, there's a room for you at the table. And that's what I love that they promote.
Well, and I would say, you know, just for anyone out there who is looking to find their own community, that you have to adopt that mindset too of I'm going to cheer every person on. I'm going to encourage wherever I get the opportunity, because then that's when it comes back to you in the form of community. But you have to be very intentional about it, I think, because
It's not easy.
Our bent is comparison, I think. And so you have to be very mindful of that. But we haven't heard from you, Kara. So why do you keep coming back to Haven?
A few reasons. First of all, obviously the community. I think we've nailed that point home. But I love that there is like this is my third time. I love that there are different tracks. So like the beginner, the intermediate, and then the master track. First year, I definitely did all of the beginner tracks. It's definitely where I was. And I just did everything. Every YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, like I was going all the places because I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I actually was going to throw in the towel on YouTube the first year I came here. And I
my gosh.
Yeah, I was going to throw in the towel. And I went to dinner with this one right here. I did not know her really like at all.
No.
And I said something. I didn't even say I was going to quit, but she picked up on it and she leaned across the table and said, "Don't you dare quit YouTube.
You have to keep going.
And that was the only reason I kept going, is because she said that.
You have to keep going. You're really good at it.
And I went home and it went in all different places that I didn't expect, which was amazing. So thank you for that, if I haven't said that publicly before. But now I feel like, now I know like what I want to do, what my jam is. I'm a lot more focused in that area. But one area I've always wanted to add is Pinterest.
Yeah.
And I just haven't done that. So now it's like I know, okay, I don't want to do the blog. I'm not really getting success in these other areas. I'm not really gaining traction. But Pinterest could be a really good fit, but I don't understand it. So I really want to sort of dig into that a little more, find people that are having success in those areas and ask them more pointed questions, things like that. So I'm looking forward into doing that this week.
And she's been peer pressured the past 2 years by me.
Yes.
I actually bother
I'm
her every
noticing
day
a theme here.
until she commits to coming. So,
Yeah, that's true.
so we are at the very beginning of the conference. We haven't done any classes yet. So we're nice and fresh and ready to have fun. What's like your best advice to someone who comes here, because I think it can be overwhelming, and by the end you could have a mental breakdown. But it's like drinking from a fire hose. Yeah. So like, what's your advice for self-care for people while they're at a conference like this, where you're meeting tons of new people and you're getting lots of information?
My biggest piece of advice is to mentally prepare yourself that you're going to have so much information from so many different points, and just know going into it, you can't do all the things. And you don't have to do all the things. It's great to learn about all the things and see all the different ways that people are finding success and making money and making things work, and know that those are possibilities. But every single one of us has a completely unique business from the other. We're YouTubers and furniture flippers. We have that in common, but all of our businesses are completely different. Our income comes from completely different streams. So if you're able to know that coming into it, that you can get all this information and tweak it to work for you, but you don't have to be doing all the things. And if you're not interested in Instagram, you don't have to pour into Instagram to be successful as a social media creator. If Pinterest isn't your thing, that's okay. You don't have to invest time or energy into that. So yeah, that's my biggest takeaway, or my biggest advice, is to come in with the mentality of, I'm going to take the information, but I don't have to keep it all. I don't have to own it all.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything they want to share on that?
Yeah, I'm super type A. So like the first time I came, like I said, I did all the classes, I did all the things, I took all the notes, but then I also realized on the airplane on the way home, I can't do all of this. Like my first thing in life is homeschooling my kids, and that takes a lot of time. So I can't go 9 different directions. So it really helped to just like take the week after and digest everything, go back through the notes and see what realistically fits into my schedule and what I can do and still be a good wife, a good mom, show up for my kids, because that's what's most important to me. That's number one on my list, and then all this other stuff has to come after that. And I can't go 10 different directions. It just doesn't work. So I have to do like, okay, I loved what she had to say in this class, but I don't see this fitting right now. Maybe later, like the Pinterest thing. But this, and this, I could really do. I could like block this out on my schedule and make time for this. And so it's like, just digest it all, see what really makes sense for your life and what you feel comfortable doing. Do you want to be in front of the camera? Do you not? Like, do you have time to do a whole, 16 hours of filming and then sit and edit it for 8 hours? A lot of people don't have that time constraint. So kind of figure out what is going to fit best for you and roll from there.
Yeah.
They said it all.
They said it all. Nothing to add.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I was like, I'm going to toot your horn. Well, I think, and this will segue into what I think that you should talk about. I'm going to tell you what you should talk about. Because I tried out something last year. I felt like, LTK is the way that I'm supposed to go. I committed to that for like 3 months and really saw no traction on it. I had learned another thing about deep linking Amazon. I'm like, okay, I did LTK for three months, not seeing any traction. I'm not enjoying it. It's taking up a lot of time. Yep. So I'm going to pivot to this other thing that I learned. I'm going to go through and I'm going to deep link every link I've ever put out that still exists on my YouTube channel. It took a very long time to do, but all of a sudden I saw more dollars coming through and more conversions. I'm like, oh, this actually works. This is what everybody was talking about, but it took the time to do it. And I think you discovered like Amazon reviews, and now you're going to be teaching on Amazon reviews this year. So walk everybody through that journey.
Okay, so I can't give advice on how to come to a conference and not get super overwhelmed, because every time I come to a conference, I get super overwhelmed. This one I'm feeling real good about though. After going to 3 different conferences, I'm like, it's like a fire hose. And then I'm like, what do I do with this? And trying to like remember I don't have to do all the things, but I want to do all the things. I still have 3 young kids. Like, I just don't have that time capacity. And so figuring out like which direction I want to go in. Well, last fall when I was at the conference that comes after Haven, is called the Achieve Conference in Waco, Texas. And I went to a course, Danielle Ness, Second Chance Ohana was teaching it there. It was all about Amazon reviews. And I thought it was like the affiliate linking that we had just learned how to like deep link and like put on our YouTube videos and whatnot. And YouTube's going okay for me. I'm about ready to quit it. So we need to have a conversation. So I'm just saying. I haven't put a video I haven't put a video up in a month because I'm angry at YouTube. And so just saying. But the Amazon stuff that she was teaching was completely different, and it was way more up my alley. Like I love like sharing with you like my dress and my cute shoes today and my cute jewelry. Like I get excited about stuff like that, but I don't want to like spend all day in my stories linking things and trying to sell to my audience. And like that's just, I'll share something if I'm like excited about it, but that's not where I want my focus to be. And so the Amazon shoppable videos, it's like the back end of Amazon. And so I get to create review videos for products that I'm excited about, and I can show customers and like show all the aspects of a product that's going to make you buy it, but also make you not return it. And so that's just a revenue stream that I got into and have become like decently successful at. And I feel like I'm just getting started. Like it's something where I'm just like getting traction and like focusing more on. And so yes, Danny couldn't come for this conference for family emergency. And so I got to step in and like, I just basically get to teach her presentation, but also add my own element of like, I do it a little bit differently than her, and it's worked for me, and it's really fun for me, and I'm enjoying it so much. And so I'm really excited to teach this class. It's going to be fun. So different stream. I did like not 2 years ago would I've thought I'd go in this direction, but it's working. I'm still doing the Instagram. I'm still doing the Facebook, maybe YouTube if I could like get over my anger at, but like that's fun for me. So I'm going to focus on that.
Yeah. I just think that's a good point, that like this business is constantly ever changing. And when you try something and it doesn't work for you, or you're not having fun, guess what? You don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
And I think, I think it's different when you're the sole breadwinner, and the kudos to those people that are content creators and they're the sole breadwinner and they don't have a partner that's bringing in an income as well, because that's got to be so stressful. I'm stressed out all the time, but I know like if I don't make YouTube videos for a month, or if my AdSense is down or whatever, like I know that we can make our mortgage, and I know that's not the case for everybody. So I feel really blessed in that, but I love the flexibility of like, I don't feel like doing this. I'm going to try to do something else. Yeah. Like you said, there's so many different ways to make money by making content and putting your face out there and creating something. And I think a place like Haven helps you realize, oh my gosh, there's so many different things that I could do. I don't like doing this, so maybe I should stop doing it.
Right. Yeah. I've tried blogging the last like 2 years, but every time I go to like make a blog post, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't know. I know it's a good landing page, but I'm still not convinced.
Well, that was a good lesson for me to learn, because I've been teaching YouTube for a long time and I love YouTube. YouTube is, it's my ride or die. I call it my second husband. And I just think, everybody should be a YouTuber. And my class used to come from the position of like, you can do YouTube and everybody can do it and everybody's going to make money on it. And the more I've done it, I'm like, that's not true. It's not. It's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not. So it's like, here's the things that I do, and this is how it works for me, and this is why I love it, and this is the potential that it has. But it might not work for you. I think that's a part that's in my presentation. That didn't used to be. I was really super optimistic.
Yeah. But coming to a place like Haven, you can learn what's possible. Mm-hmm. Like there's people like you guys sitting here, but also we think of Carianne, who has 27 different ways she makes money. I mean, you can come and learn from people like that and get inspired for different things you can try and see what does work and what you do like doing. So
yeah,
awesome.
And we're just here to hang.
Yeah.
Yes, we're here to enjoy.
yes, we are.
And we hope that you find your people, because I guess why we just wanted to like turn this on, do like really informal. I love y'all for just doing this, because they were camera ready. Like, look at me, I'm in a sweatshirt. I'm not camera ready either. I think it's just important to see how you actually walk this out. And it's not a 30-second Instagram clip and like, dude, this, and this, and you'll hit the algorithm and da-da-da. It's like so up and down. It's so rich. There's so much that goes into it. And we had a little guest pop in. There's just so much, that goes into it. And just having that support system and having those people that you can ride the waves with is just, fundamental to being successful in this space. So I love that we could have y'all in the Cypress Room today because I love you all so much and you mean so much to me. And I think you're so amazing. And I want the world to know you.
And if you're thinking about coming to Haven in the future, you can always come sit at our table. So come and yes, you are always welcome at our table.
Yes.
And we like to eat. So
Yeah.
We do.
you like to eat. Come on. We ate a little bit too much last night. We're all feeling it today. Is there anything else anybody wants to chat about? Do you have any more questions? This is kind of
I don't have any more
fun.
questions.
This is like my dream. Can we do this every
I
week?
know. We have all these fun ladies here who make money different ways. So let's go around and each one of you tell us what your like number one income stream is. Your biggest percentage.
Mine is Amazon shoppable videos.
Ooh.
My biggest, most successful revenue stream is Facebook ad revenue from videos on Facebook.
And all the people are very shocked.
Yes. Yes.
No,
It's a
everybody
secret.
discounts Facebook.
It's still a thing.
Yeah.
Thing. I think that's super awesome.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Mine is sponsorships.
So cool. Mine's sponsorships too. Yeah, it's about 50. It's been about 50 or 60% for a couple of years. But I still got that chunk of AdSense, which is I love.
And I
25% chunk of AdSense.
I cannot get sponsorships to save my life, so I rely on ad revenue. But
And I'm not ready for sponsorships yet.
yeah,
Someday
but there's
when I grow up.
that's the thing. There's so many different ways. You just gotta figure out which one is yours and take it.
Yeah. Well, are we ready to close it out?
I think we are.
Okay.
I think we are.
Well, this
Okay.
has been so fun.
So fun. Thank you guys for sitting down and being vulnerable and letting us turn the camera on.
Yes.
We love you guys so much. And we're going to hang out off camera.
Yes.
But come to Haven next year, you guys, or just make a point to go to a conference. If you want to connect with someone, if you're like, hey, I don't know how to do this, can you help me? Email me and Maggie, email Cypress Room, leave a comment down below. Go check out these ladies and comment on their stuff. They would and say, hey, I came from the Cypress Room. They'd love to chat with you.
Yes, that'd be great.
We'd love to walk alongside you. We really believe in just doing that. And it's so beautiful. I
yeah,
could just,
we're
like,
here to
cry.
cheer you on.
Yeah.
We will leave all the handles of all these lovely ladies in the description box. So you can go follow them if you don't already.
Yep.
And we'll be back with another podcast soon. So we'll see you next time in the Cypress Room. Bye. Bye.
Bye. The Scary.